There's absolutely nothing wrong with having a hunting rifle if you are a hunter who goes out and hunts to provide for yourself and your family. You know, you're going to actually eat what you kill. There is something wrong with you going out and killing some animal that you have no intention of eating, or at least some portion of his body. So you have people who hunt just for sport. They go out and they kill animals so they can cut their head off and put it on the wall in their house. They're wrong for doing that. God has made a provision for us to use certain animals for food. And so if you're not killing that animal for the purpose of eating him, you shouldn't be killing him. And because we live in this modern time of guns, there's absolutely nothing wrong with having a hunting rifle that you're going to use to kill the animal that you're going to eat. There's nothing wrong with having a bow and arrow that you're going to kill the animal with that you're going to eat. But to own a gun for the purpose of so-called self-defense or protecting your family, which would involve you having to kill another human being if they're trying to kill you, that is not biblical. There are many things in the Old Testament where God told his people to kill the enemy and blah, 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 and laws where people were told to be killed for committing certain crimes. That is not the case anymore. This is what the Bible means when it says, study to show thyself approved unto God, or workmen that needed not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. In other words, there are things that apply to people who lived back then that we can no longer practice. And one of those things is killing. We are not supposed to kill any human being under any circumstance. Very important that you understand that, because we have Christians who are in the army and who are in the other branches of the armed forces who think it's okay to kill. No, it's not. We have people in the police department, the FBI and the CIA who think they have God's permission to kill. No, they do not. And if they kill, they're going to end up going to hell, because you're not supposed to kill at all. These are not my words. That's what Jesus said. Jesus said we can't kill anymore. In Matthew chapter 5, verse 38, Jesus said, ye have heard that it has been said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Verse 39, but I say unto you that ye resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also. So Christ said back then, if somebody knocked out one of your eyes, it was God's law for you to knock out one of theirs. He says it's not that way anymore. That's why you have to study the Word of God and understand what applies now. He said you can't do that no more. He says don't resist evil at all. If they slap you on the right side of your face, turn to them the other side. He says in verse 43, ye have heard that it has been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thy enemy. Verse 44, he says, but I say unto you, love your enemies. Bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. This is where we are now. So we can't try to defend ourselves by using a gun to kill somebody. No, let them kill you. You're going to go straight to heaven. Kill them before they kill you? That's not what the Bible teaches. And even our enemies. He says, love your enemies. Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you. And pray for them that despitefully use you and persecute you. People try to downplay these words and say, well, he really didn't mean it, or he meant only in certain circumstances are you supposed to do this. Christ practiced what he preached himself. Because when it came time for him to be taken and tortured and put to death, he did not try to defend himself. And you and I are not supposed to be having a gun or any other kind of weapon for the purpose of self-defense. Nor should we take any job that involves us possibly having to kill a human being. Luke chapter 23, verse 33, it says, and when they would come to the place which is called Calvary, there they crucified him and the malefactors, one on the right hand and the other on the left. So when they got him down to where they're going to nail him to that torturing stake and put him up there, that's what it's talking about. Verse 34, then said Jesus, look what he said when they nailed him to the cross, Father, forgive Forgive them, for they know not what they do. So here's Christ practicing what he preached. When he says, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. That's exactly what he means. Don't let nobody tell you he means something else. So a Christian should not have a gun unless it's a hunting rifle. And if you're not hunting for the purpose of providing food for your house, you shouldn't even be out there killing those animals. Now, somebody would say, well, how are we supposed to be protected if we can't defend ourselves? There are a zillion scriptures in the Bible where God promises to protect his own when they put their faith and trust in him. So I want to end this Bible study by reading just a couple of those. In Psalms 91, verse 1, King David wrote, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Verse 2, he says, I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in him will I trust. David said, I'm going to trust God to protect me. God is more than capable of protecting us. When we jump down to verse 7, it says, 1,000 shall fall at thy side and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh or near thee. Verse 8, only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. Verse 9, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High thy habitation. Verse 10, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh or near thy dwelling. So God is more than capable of protecting us. And you and I are to put all our faith and trust in him.